Hello, I'm Jane Mackenzie. I'm going to show you those stretches that I do, that I've talked about in class, that I do before I go to bed. What I'm going to do is show you just one leg. When I do it on the legs, I'm going to show you one leg, and you're going to obviously do it on both legs, otherwise you're going to be lopsided. Make sure you're nice and warm before you do this. So if you've been exercising beforehand, that's great. If you haven't, then make sure you have a really nice hot bath or a nice hot shower so that all the muscles are nice and warm. You should never stretch if the muscles are cold. So we're going to start off. I'm going to show you the stretch for the hamstring down the back of the leg. So lie yourself down on the floor. From there, just relax the head on the floor. And we're going to take hold of one leg. One knee is bent up and the foot is flat on the floor, and bring the other knee in towards the body. We gradually extend that leg up towards the ceiling to feel that stretch down the back of the leg here. You can either hold on to the hamstring or hold on to the calf. With this stretch, we hold it for 15 to 30 seconds. If you want to develop the stretch, then you hold it for 8 to 10 seconds, and then as it starts to ease off, then you start to ease in a tiny bit further. So it's a very small amount and ease it in. And that stretches the hamstring down the back of the leg. You can also use a band, and as you know in class, I like using the band. So you can extend the leg up, and then from there, gently keeping the elbows down on the floor, gently pull on the band and bring that leg back. The knee doesn't have to be straight, just as long as you can feel it down the back of the leg. You can extend that other leg along the floor, and you're going to get that stretch through the hip flexor on the top of this leg a little bit here, and that feels nice and long through there. So that's your hamstring, so you're going to do that on the other leg. So I'm now going to show you now, so I'm going to stay in this position, I'll pop that up there. I'm now going to show you a stretch through the gluteals here and into the piriformis muscle. I'm going to show you that piriformis stretch. Anyone that gets sciatica, this is the stretch that you want to do as much as you can. Place one hand on the outside of the thigh, then bring the opposite hand over onto your calf. Bring it down as far as is comfortable for you. From here, gently bring the leg across the body, easing it across. Obviously I'm looking at the camera, you're going to look straight up at the ceiling when you do this. Bring the leg across and keep easing it across towards the shoulder until you feel that stretch right in here. So it gets right underneath the gluteal muscle into that piriformis. And we bring that leg, so the lower part of your leg comes across a little bit further than your knee. Now, if you find it's pinching here on the hip flexor, make sure this arm is doing the work and you're not holding it on the hip flexor. If that's still not comfortable, you can take it into the other stretch. So with the feet flat on the floor, take one foot across the knee and lift the foot up off the floor. Ease that in towards the body until you feel that here on the outside of the thigh. Oh, that feels so nice. You can use your hand here on holding onto the other leg if you want to feel that stretch a little bit more. If you want to increase that stretch, you've got a couple of things you can do. Either bring the leg a little bit closer towards you. You can press away with this knee. Also, this vertical leg here, if I move it in this direction, so my left leg is up towards the ceiling, if I move it over to the left, then I can feel it that little bit more through here. Be careful if you've got lower back problems, then keep the feet down on the floor, and then you can bring that leg over until you can feel that here. If it's not comfortable to lift that leg off the floor. So that's the piriformis stretch, was the first one we did here, and then we went, this stretches more into the gluteals and through the outside of the thigh there. So there are stretches for all of this area here. So I'm now going to take it on, and we're going to stretch through the shoulders and through the back. So we come onto the knees and sit back on the heels. Now you don't have to have the bottom sitting right back on the heels, wherever's comfortable for you. You're going to extend the arms along the floor and reach forward as far as you can. So reach the arms forward, and we're getting a stretch right the way through here, and we're getting a stretch through the back. Relax the head down on the floor. You still hear me? So relaxing that head onto the floor and feel that stretch. Oh, I can feel it right through the back. Now, if you want to, if you've got a ball or a block, you can place the hands on the block, and it just lifts the arms a little bit higher, and you get a little bit more stretch. Now we can take that stretch from there, we can take it round into the obliques. This is, again, I love this stretch. You bring your hands round to 11 o'clock, and the hand that's nearest to the 12 o'clock, reach it forward and relax down. And again, you could do the same on a block. So I'm just showing you one side. Remember, you've got to do both sides and hold those stretches for as long as it's comfortable for you. So we're going to go now, we stretched through the back. So I'm going to go onto the chest. So using my block, or you could use a cushion if you wanted to, you come into your position here, bending your knees up. So this is your sleepy position. So bring the arm in front of you here, pull the abdominals in, bring both hands in front of you here, and we bring that arm up and over. And release, keep the arm coming over until the arm, you can really feel that stretch through here. You're going to feel this more on one side than the other maybe. Like this is my tight side, so I'd just release it down and bring it back over. So the arm comes directly over. So I've got a straight line running from my hand, from hand to hand as I come over. Don't let the arm drop down here because you're not going to feel the stretch. It needs to be in line. So you need to have that arm up and in line. So you're going to do that maybe 6 times. If you want to hold it there and pause it there for a little while just to enjoy that stretch, then you can. So that's stretching right the way through here, through the front of the shoulder into the pecs on the chest. So obviously you're going to do that with both sides. So you bring that over, and that's such a nice stretch. So we're going to come into a sitting position now, and we're going to stretch the inside of the thigh. You can do this by either place both hands on the floor behind you, keep the chest up, pull the abdominals in, and gently hinge forward until you feel that stretch on the inside of the thigh. If you're tight on the inside of the thigh, then pop yourself on a block if you want to, or onto a ball. You can bring your hands in front of you here, again keeping the chest up, so stay nice and open on the chest and gently hinge forward so we get that lovely stretch through here. So we're stretching the adductors right the way down through the inside of the thigh. Good. So again, you're just going to hold that until you feel that nice and releasing, and then you can just ease in a little bit further if you want to. So we're going to stretch now the hip flexor on the top of the leg. I talk a lot about the hip flexor because often it gets tight when people are sitting a lot. So with the hip flexor, I'm going to show you using the block as well. This is one of Matt's moves, using the block, so I'm going to pop it in and show you. You can step the leg forward, and then from there you place the elbow onto the leg, and from there we gently bring the hip through so you're facing directly forward. You pull the tummy in, keep the chest up, and it lengthens through here. Now if you want to, you can use your block here beside you just to give yourself a little bit of balance. So it just helps you with that balance. So obviously you're going to do the other leg. If you need to, if that knee's a bit uncomfortable, you can just roll your mat over or pop something under your knee, pop a towel under your knee if you want to. And then I've got one more stretch. Obviously you're going to do that on both legs. I've got one more stretch I'm going to show you. So this is our down dog, and it stretches the calf, it stretches the hamstring, and it stretches the back. So if I'm really short of time, then this might be one that I do as a combination. So place your hands on the floor in front of you, and you'll curl your toes up, and from there you're going to lift the bottom up towards the ceiling, press the arms through, and from there press the heels down towards the floor, pulling the tummy in, lengthen through the back of the shoulders, relax the head down, and you feel that through the shoulders, feel that through the heels, through the calf, and through the hamstring down the back of the leg. If you find that's not comfortable on your hands, then you can roll your mat over a little bit on your hands if you want to. And then I come back down, and that is it. They are my stretches, and off I go to bed.